Hello. Working. Hello, hello. Testing, testing. Okay, I think that's all working.
Hello, YouTube. Hello, dear subscribers and new to my channel people. So I recently just put up a video saying thank you to everybody. I recently just hit 1,000 subscribers, so it's quite a big milestone, and it has spurred me on to put out a little bit more content. I've hooked up my microphone interface and going to try a few new things as well. So it's going to be a little bit of a learning experience for me too. As any of you who follow me know, you'll know that I'm quite a geek with the technology, and I incorporate that into my teaching and into my teacher training as well. Quite a lot, but also try to, of course, not forget the teaching objectives while we're at it. So it's a beautiful day here in Canada where I live, and I just got home a couple of hours ago from a game of tennis. Really good. I didn't win, but you know, just got to keep at it. So as I mentioned in my last video, I said that I want to start creating videos where I'll respond to your comments in real time. One of the nice things of having a YouTube channel is in the Creator Studio, you can just go directly to all of the comments. So rather than have to go through it video by video. So in this video, I'm going to jump over to that and just I actually haven't prepared this at all. I wanted it to be quite just a natural response, so that if a question comes up and I don't know the answer, I'm not going to pretend that I do know the answer. But you know, that old thing that we always try to say, you know, I'll go away and look into it and then come back to you with my take on it. So this is the first video in responding to your comments. I'm going to have to come up with a catchier title for it than that, but Fergus Responds, or call it what you will. So keep please posting comments and especially questions in the comment section below my videos, because I'd like to make this a regular thing. As I get 5-10 comments at a time, I'll make a video. 5-10, I'll make a video. And I'd like that to be a recurring series. I do plan as well to create some more videos on methodology, and in this period where I've recently gained 1,000 subscribers, one of the most popular videos in this short period, last 6 months, I guess, so it's currently July 2020, has been 5 tips to get a pass A on your Celta. So I'm definitely going to put out more videos like that, more tips, how to do well on the Celta course. As many of you know, and I've seen from my other videos, I am a Celta tutor and have trained courses in many places all over the world, including here in Canada, United States, Brazil, back in Europe, in Ireland, particularly where I'm from. And so I work with quite a diverse range of people, and we've usually gotten some really great results. Celta is a really it's a very challenging course, but extremely rewarding, and some of the growth that I've experienced myself and shared with others while participating on Celta is motivation in and of itself to create more content like this. So without further ado, let's jump over to your comments. Let's start kind of replying. As you can see right here, just recently got over 1,000 subscribers, and as you can see, things are really on the up and up for my channel. So just once again, thank you so much, and please continue to like, share, and subscribe. Okay, so I can just click right here and go to comments. Johanna Ibouge, maybe. Nice job. Thank you for sharing this lesson. Thank you very much. A nice bit of positive feedback is always appreciated. So thank you very much. Same here at Righteous Disorder. Extremely helpful there on my How to Teach Reading. So I go through the the stages in a reading lesson there. So here's one from the 5 tips to get a pass A grade on your Celta course. So I was thinking of taking the course, but I'm afraid my writing skills are not good. When I took IELTS, the IELTS exam 2 years ago, I got band 6 from it. Do you think I should go for it or work on my writing and other skills before doing that? So that's from Shosh Ooze. It's a great question. Thank you very much for this question. It's one that comes up quite a bit. In any case, the ultimate test of your level, whether it's sufficient or not to participate on the Celta, will be down to the tutors and the people who interview you to get on the course. So it could be that in real life, your English is more like a 7 or a 7.5. And when you get the opportunity to interview with the tutor or the center administrator, whoever is doing the interview for you to get on the Celta, and indeed you'll be asked to do some kind of little pre-course task, as it's called. Those are the things which will really demonstrate whether you have the level or not. Now, you did mention that you have a level 6 on IELTS. I'm just going to jump into Google so that we can kind of like compare what does a level 6 mean in IELTS for anybody who isn't quite sure about that. So let's just bring up a comparison chart here. So here's a pretty good comparison chart, which I found. You can find these easily. That's all I did there. IELTS CEFR comparison. You can find all of these charts on Google Images. CEFR is this Common European Framework of Reference. It's one of the most widely used level systems. Of course, there are many level systems depending on which country you're working in. Here in Canada, there's a system based on 100, 200, 300. However, they do also recognize these CEFR levels. The nice thing about the CEFR, it's quite simple. There are just 6 levels. Of course, they have in later years been broken down into plus levels as well, but just for gauging a person's level in broad strokes, it's good. So A1 is a basic user, just what would be called in most ELT schools beginner or elementary student. A2 would be still a basic user, like a pre-intermediate student. Then we get up to independent users, so B1, that intermediate, upper intermediate level. Then B2, C1 is like the pre-advanced, advanced core level, and then the proficient user. Really, the C2 level is, you see it here on an equivalence with the Cambridge Proficiency Exam. So you had mentioned there that you are at a level 6. So level 6 will put you, in terms of a scoreable level. It puts you around an upper intermediate, pre-advanced level. The general advice is that you want to have your level for the Celta at absolute minimum of a B2 or a 6.5 or pretty much at that CAE advanced level. But my own personal advice, I would even look for you to be a little bit stronger. What we ask on the Celta is that you are just, perfect with the target language that you're teaching. It could be that some of your on-the-spot responses aren't perfect English, and that's, these things happen. So to sum up, I would recommend that you maybe work on the English a little bit more, get it up to more like a 7. Then you will have a much more comfortable experience on the course. And I'm sure that when you go to do the interview, you'll be more assured of a spot on the Celta course. Thank you very much. It's a great question. So next one there. So yeah, I read this a few weeks ago when you posted it, and I wondered when you were saying he feels annoyed. Were you referring to me? Was my tone maybe or something? Well, I assure you I wasn't annoyed. I cannot do it. This sentiment though that you said about concept checking questions, I can't do it. A lot of trainee teachers have experiences. I went through it when I was starting out as a teacher. Concept checking questions, it kind of seems a little bit counterintuitive, but really, when you just like dig down into the idea a little bit, it actually makes the most sense. Think about a piece of language that could be, a homograph or a homophone, like so a word like measure. If I said to you, do you understand measure? You would probably think about something that you do with a ruler, a distance, a height, a weight, something like that. And therefore, you could legitimately say, yes, I understand. However, if I had in my mind, for example, the government measures introduced to stimulate the economy, for example, it it wouldn't be that we have a meeting of the minds, right? So therefore, you got to think about yourself kind of like a lawyer in a way. You're trying to prove the case in a way. So you ask questions of the learner for them to prove to you that they have in their mind the same thing that you have in your mind. And that's, once you kind of like accept that that's what you're doing, then the concept checking questions themselves, to become less mysterious, to become less difficult to construct, and you get to that point where actually you can spontaneously do them because you have a language awareness where you are, you have a sense of, okay, so what type of word is this? So I'll ask a question about that. Does this word have connotations? I'll ask a question about that. My usual go-to one on that is, would you say that to your grandmother? Kind of thing. For example, you will eventually then build up a repertoire of your concept checking questions for different grammars, language that you become aware has connotation, for example, etc., etc. So we've all been there. It's frustrating, I know, but stick with it. Rome wasn't built in a day. So keep practicing, and eventually, when you become proficient at it, you will get to this point where your lessons become much more valuable for your learners, and you will find the whole experience much more rewarding as well. So a short comment, but I liked it. It brought out an opportunity to talk about some experiences which I've noticed over the years training people to be Celta qualified teachers. Okay, let's go for another one. So, this looks like a big one here. Okay, so Emi Islam, I'm from Bangladesh. Just already, as a person who's lived in a few different countries around the world, and I've learned a few different languages. It's one thing I really love about the internet. There's many things, of course, that we could complain about the internet, but this is a really lovely thing that you get to interact with people from places that are so far away. Really, we're on like the opposite sides of the planet. Which is really cool. Anyway, you had me at I'm from Bangladesh. That's really cool. Let's jump back over to the comment. I've watched all of your videos. That's so cool. Thank you very much. So this one was relating to 5 tips to get a pass A. All of your videos are highly effective. Thank you very much. And helpful. That's why I subscribed to your channel and suggested my friends to. Emmy, you are the greatest. Thank you so much. One of my friends has already subscribed to your channel. I'm interested also to learn about the Celta Course. I want to connect with you. Is there any other social media that you use, like Facebook, WhatsApp, please let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing from you at the earliest convenience. So another great question. And again, thank you for suggesting to your friends as well that they also subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I do. So in terms of other ways to contact me, actually, I've become I've been reducing my presence online, trying to read more books and play more tennis and get outside and a little bit away from being on the phone so much. So this is the only kind of social media place where you'll find me. In fact, I do have a professional LinkedIn account, but that's not like as specifically about Celta and ESL, although it does have my background there also related to that. But I also do other educational projects. Really, the best way to get in contact with me is right here in the comments, because as I said, I'm planning to make these direct video responses. But for example, if you're interested in private tuition, learning more about methods and approaches, help with aspects of being a Celta qualified teacher, then you can contact me directly by email. And I usually post my email in the description below. So that's something that I do. I coach teachers via, I usually use Google Hangouts, or now Google Meet as it's called, but of course Zoom, Skype, it's all easy. And yeah, so email and here on YouTube are really the best ways to get at me. So again, thanks for the feedback, and let's go for another one. Many thanks. 5 tips I shall take on board. So thank you very much, Janet Staltari. So I want to do Celta Course next year. This is from Salma Sehar. Could you please make videos related to this course more often? So Salma, absolutely. That's as I said, I got my microphone, my interface, and my computer and everything all good and set up. So this is going to be a regular occurrence. And as I said, please post some comments down below here, and I'll make videos like this responding directly to, in the comment section, especially post questions so that I can give you direct advice. So that's really a direct way of getting to me. I'm planning to do this at least once a week now going forward. So hopefully the more comments, the more videos, really, because it's going to be the main thing that I'm going to focus this channel on, providing direct feedback to people who need a little bit of extra help. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Wow, a wonderful video. Thank you very much, SASR. And then same person again, great video. Thanks a lot. I'm taking Celta online right now. Please share more advice about assignments as well. Thanks a lot. This is one that I have definitely got asked about quite a few times, about the 4 assignments. So the language related task, language skills or skills related task, the focus on the learner, and lessons from the classroom. Each of these assignments focuses on a different aspect of the Celta assessment, and it requires you to think about teaching from slightly different angles. So definitely something that I plan to talk about a little bit more in the future. One thing to say at this vantage point, you see here I have a guitar right here, and just recently I was learning to play There's a U2 and Johnny Cash collaboration called The Wanderer. It's from the Zooropa album in the 1990s. One of my favorite songs. And, you know, if I learn to play the guitar in that style, it's going to require certain things. And like Johnny Cash and U2 doing those things were the greatest at that moment for that song collaboration. Britney Spears was the best at being Britney Spears, and etc. etc. So why am I saying that? You know, when I am training trainees, let's say I'm going for a Johnny Cash, you know. Another trainer could be going for a Ella Fitzgerald. Another trainer could be going for Kanye West. Another trainer could be going for Pavarotti. Like, all of these people were the greatest musicians, but not better than each other. The greatest of their type. Now, I know that's a subjective thing. Maybe nobody would agree about those things, but you get the point. They were singing different styles. You know, Johnny Cash and Pavarotti. Pavarotti was a opera singer. Johnny Cash was a country rock and roll singer. You know, you can't compare them, but it's about music. It's about like it's another reason like why you know, as Google Translate and all of these things become to exist more, you'll always need a human. You know, never worry about being a teacher, because if it's only teaching the language or it's only translating the language, well, great, you get like a perfect flow of communication, but you don't get Pavarotti and Johnny Cash. I know it's quite an analogy, but I hope you see where I'm going there. What I'm really saying is, when I give advice about something about teaching, about assignments, it'll be from my style and from my point of view. It should never be understood that, you know, if what I say isn't exactly in line with what your tutor is saying, you know, always remember, you know, two things can be true at once, and maybe I'm looking at it with the Johnny Cash eyes, whereas your tutor is looking at it with the Pavarotti eyes, for example. So I guess it's a word of advice to you. Don't try to see the conflict if ever things aren't 100% aligned. Try to see how the complement between the two. Try to see and then find where you are in it as the teacher that you're becoming. Okay. On to the next one. So, okay, so then now that's pretty much near the end of it now. These are getting back to some of my instructional design videos. So this one, I like the dog. As I mentioned at the outset, I live in Canada at the moment, but I'm originally from Ireland. And over Christmas, I made a few videos when I was at home in Ireland, and my dog was jumping around in some of the videos. So that was cool to get some comments about Chico. Anyway. So that's it for this video, responding to your comments. Again, thank you everybody who has subscribed, and you know, please continue to, you know, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button, and leave a question, leave a comment down there, and then we can continue this kind of like asynchronous dialogue, I guess you could call it, and hopefully this kind of sharing of ideas. You know, I'll never claim to be the absolute authority on these things. I'm coming at this from a person who is, you know, quite experienced, and I've, you know, taken my qualifications and everything, but I'm also, you know, humble enough to say I've still got a lot to learn, and I learn from working with people like yourselves. I learn from trainees all the time. The amount of good ideas that I've come across, for example, observing teaching practice. You know, I'll tell the trainee at the end when it was so good that, like, hey, I'm taking that one if you don't mind. That's really good, and that's, you know, like, it's one of the wonderful things about being a teacher, right? You know, like, you try out ideas, and if it goes well, you can share that idea, and then that idea becomes, you know, an approach maybe, or a method, you know, or even just a you know, a something that just works, you know, something that you know, a little activity or a technique that you use. So that's it. Time to land the plane, as I'd say. Thank you very much once again, everybody, and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you in the next one.